Hi everyone and welcome to this awesome tutorial where we're going to draw Pegasus using a white color pencil and a black one later on, a white pastel pencil. Furthermore, I'm going to use the Kohinoor eraser pencil, and I'm going to draw this one on blue. The force study was on black, but I'm using a blue for a special reason in this case. So let's get started. The setup I will be doing with the white pastel pencil. It's by Faber Castell. And what I'm actually doing is drawing in the front of the face of our Pegasus. And just the contours. And I'm paying special attention to the light, so where the light hits our horse. That will be on the nose bridge, the nostrils, and the tip of the nose, a little bit on the jaw and the muscles where the horse chews the food. And then we head on to the neck, where there's also light hitting our horse. And the light in this case is coming from the left front. Here I'm starting in to draw the mane, and on top there's a lot of light. And I kind of have those mane flap around a little bit. And here, way in the back, is the back wing, the one that's not so physical. And here in the front, there's that big wing. On the top of that wing there's also a lot of light coming, and you can see that I'm drawing in all kinds of lines, and I'm having that wing flip forward kind of like, and I've just studied some feathers on owl wings and on wings of a swan. So I'm using that as a reference, just watching a lot of feathers and then do my own thing with it. In the inside of the wing there's not a lot of light, but here on the shoulder there is some light, and also on the upper arm of our horse. So I put in a little bit of white there too. Now the wing that is not so visual, I do not pay a lot of attention. I will just keep that kind of blurry. And then I simply try to draw in as many feathers as I can. And I think in order to have him float, he will need big wings. And what you can see me doing here is I'm using a grinding sponge and my white pastel pencil, and I simply put on a little bit of pastel on my paper. I need this to create our clouds, because I want the Pegasus to be floating through the air, if you want. And I simply rub it in with my finger to have a feel of clouds coming up. And I get rid of the bit that I do not need with a broad brush. Then it's time for the pencil eraser. what is beautiful about this technique is that you can easily get rid of the pigments of the pastel and then draw back in the blue of the paper again. Now here is my white color pencil, and as you can see, when you apply this very softly, you get different kinds of white. So I'm using this white color pencil for the mid-tones. You can also use it to draw in fine hairs and fine details in the wings. Here I'm applying the white color pencil on the wings, as I was telling you. And it's nice to see the different kinds of white. Should I need a little more darkness, I simply erase that out. And here I draw in some, well, playful hairs if you want. Now the fun part, and this is exactly the reason why I've chosen the blue drawing paper. And with that black color pencil, I can now start to create the darkest shadows just underneath every feather. And what you get then is a real dynamic feel of wings. So I simply apply it to all the parts where the light does not hit the horse or the parts of the wings. It's also nice for the very small detail in the head, of course. Here also behind the ears, and a little bit of detail in the mane. And here underneath the neck. You can get that feel of shading. I need a little bit more clouds because I really want him to be floating in the air. So here I'm getting in some extra white that he is really going through that clouds. The back wing, I do not apply a lot of detail. I just fade it out a little bit. Here in the back I also want a little bit more clouds, so I'm applying a little bit more white powder. Just ease it in with your finger and then get rid of the bits that you do not need. And then for the blending it together, I'm using the pencil eraser again. In this way I can make those wings come out of the clouds. Now for the background, that's just behind the clouds, I'm using a compressed charcoal. but you can also use the black pastel pencil, by the way. And that way I get the clouds to pop in front, while the back is as dark as possible. So I simply rub in a little bit of charcoal. And this charcoal is not completely black, and you can see it here when you apply a little bit of white over the charcoal. It turns a little bit brownish, and I need this brownishness to make the head pop out. And here way on top I want the sky to be a little bit more light, so I simply put in a little bit of white pastel. I just need one more feather, one that's popping out, and then the front clouds extra white. This is the final stage, and I want to make some breath come out of the nostrils of my Pegasus. So I've erased it out a little bit with the pencil eraser, and then apply a little bit of white pastel to create the breath. Should you want to make this drawing, you can also slow down the time if you want and draw along. It's an amazing study to do. I wish you all the fun with it. Please give it a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again in my next tutorial.